Hey guys, Remote Animation here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I made this 3D intro using a mobile app. And to start this off, we created a new project in Prisma 3D. And after creating a new project, the first thing I did was to model a brush. And what I had in mind for this brush was to make an animation of the brush painting out remote animation on a surface. And after rigging the bristles, I needed some ink on the brush. So I made a copy of the bristles to get out that base shape, then I modified it a little bit to look like ink. After that, I added in the surface and some lights. Then I went straight to posing the brush. And I was going to need some ink to actually show on the surface, so I went over to a light motion to make an ink texture. Then I brought that texture back into Prisma 3D and animated it to match the flow of the brush. Then I brought in an image texture of the final product and a semicircle. And the reason for the semicircle is to give the illusion that the brush was painting in a full circle. And from the camera's perspective, it was looking really nice. Then I animated a simple switch between the image texture and the brush strokes. Then did some more camera animation and rendered the first final clip. And that was it for the first shot. For the second shot, I started out by making a text object of the word remote. Then I brought in a simple plane and gave it some bumps. The next thing I did was to color the bumps and add in some spotlights. Then I made a lot of copies to that singular bump to fill out an entire wall. Then I added in some more lights to make the shot look better. Well, I needed my text to have a glowing outline, so using the modeling tools, I modified a duplicate of the text to be able to wrap up its copy. Then I put it back on my scene and it was looking amazing, so I tweaked the background a little bit and went straight to animating the camera. After I was done with that, I rendered out the final clip and took this clip and the previous clip over to CapCut for the final edits.
You used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with this life, like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall to be, will you be there when I wait to save me, babe? A superhero in this. A superhero in this. You caught my soul when I was falling. You moved the clouds to stop me from hitting the ground. And every goal there was a meaning, for this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall.
All the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. To up and down, yeah. Make make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah.
In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made this Minecraft animation using my Android device. And for those of you who have been on the channel for a while now, you already know what Prisma 3D is. And for those of you who don't, it's basically the Blender equivalent for a mobile device. To start this off, I created a new project in Prisma 3D, but before that I went over to the Rough Animator app to create an animation sketch of what I had in mind. And what's going on here is basically a sorcerer with an obsidian sword trying to kill a man with a creeper mask. And it soon occurred to me that making an entire 2D animation for the reference will take more time than actually making the 3D animation. So I went back into Prisma 3D and just started up the animation without any reference. So I imported in one of my previously modeled characters along with one of my previously modeled swords. Then I attached the swords to the character and got it to the right size. After importing the second character and bringing in a camera, I went straight to the animation process. And those red markers on the floor are just reference points to make sure my character's legs are not sliding around, and that can be totally avoided once the inverse kinematics update releases. And after completing the first shot, I brought in some lights to get a good view of what the final render is going to look like. Then I detached a copy of the sword which I'm going to be using for the trail effect later on. Then I made the sword glow a little bit for the next attack by animating the specular setting. Then I threw in some lights to actually sell this effect. Then I went on to animating the next attack, which was the sorcerer sending a shockwave across the scene. When I was done with that, I went back to the other swords that I kept aside earlier in the video. Then I made it very bright and a little bit transparent and animated it to match the movements of the sword in the character's hand. And after going through that whole process, we had this glitched out trail effect which was looking really nice. Then I added in more swords and copied the keyframe from the original sword, but this time with a little bit of delay. And then we had 4 swords trailing the original image, which was perfect. Well, I used practically the same process for the shockwave itself. Then I imported in some of my previously made particle effects like the fire and explosions. After piecing together all the effects and the animation, it was time to build the scene, which didn't take as long as I expected. And after I was done with that, I rendered the final clip, took it over to CapCut for the final edits. More animation here, and in today's video we're going to be making a Minecraft animation in 4 hours using the mobile app Prisma 3D, which is available on the Google Play Store. Before we begin, there are a few things we'll need to do. First, we'll need to draw out our scenes, and then we'll need to write an easy to animate story that will help guide us for the next 4 hours. Yeah, we're gonna make our Minecraft scenes with Prisma 3D. So for the first scene, we're going for a rather dark, creepy office. So we're done with the first scene, and it only took 16 minutes, which is far less than I thought it was actually gonna take. So we can move on to the second scene, which is actually gonna be a poorly lit hallway. So So we're done with the second scene. It's looking nice. It kind of took about 15 minutes to make, leaving us with about 3 hours and 29 minutes left. For the third scene, it's going to be a continuation of the second scene, but with stairs that leads to a creepy basement. For the fourth and final scene, we're going to be making a dark, partially lit basement with a Minecraft robot in the middle. After 1 hour 33 minutes, we have all the scenes ready with about 2 hours 27 minutes to go. Now we get to the animating part.